What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We are the Distorted Theorists, and Peter, this weekend at San Diego Comic-Con.
This was a big weekend for Marvel in general. Deadpool
Huge.
Wolverine making almost $500 million at the box office.
It's a good time to be a Marvel fan, and I guess a reaction channel. But we want to let people know that this is not a trailer reaction video. But in case you haven't seen it, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video's purpose, take a look at this clip that was released at San Diego Comic-Con just this weekend.
We give you the one person who could play Victor Von Doom.
New mask. Same task. What can I tell you? I like playing complicated characters.
Okay, as you just seen, Peter, they literally just announced, well, Dr. Doom, but even bigger, Robert Downey Jr. returning to play the role.
Well,
we need to talk about the pros and cons because there's been a lot of backlash, goodlash.
Let's even unpack before we even get into that.
Shoot, this is a open forum right now.
So we know that following Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania,
which was a movie
that had Kang the Conqueror in it. That was supposed to be the big be-all, end-all. A dude got taken out by some ants.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we know how his variant or the initial Kang or the one at the end of whatever the hell their name was.
He Who Remains.
Got the way to be the whole thing. Loki season 2. Okay. That's done.
Yeah.
We assume.
We assume,
but with all the Kang Dynasty is no longer a thing. Now, you and I, amongst our other
colleagues,
cretins that discuss this stuff, we're always talking about where are they going to go from here, because we knew about the
and we knew Secret Wars was in the pipe, which was also announced at San Diego Comic-Con, but it was less of a shock.
But what did I say about Secret Wars way back?
You said they can only pull this off if it has Dr. Doom.
Because Dr. Doom, I can't remember, because there's been 3 Secret Wars.
Yeah. And
I'm pretty sure that Dr. Doom was at the helm of at least one of them. And I'm pretty sure it was the first one. Now, I've got a theory about it that I'm going to get into in a second, okay? Well, because it works well with what's going on in the MCU or what could happen in the MCU.
Let me pepper you with some stuff. So they come in, they obviously, the Russo brothers who are returning, again, thank you, Marvel. I don't even want to know what they're getting paid, which is probably minute compared to the next guy. But they obviously, they said, okay, well, you guys, you know about Secret Wars, but you want to know about what's coming for Avengers 5.
But they mentioned before that they want to do Secret Wars.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So we knew that was coming as Avengers 6. But then now this Kang Dynasty was erased from memory, and we knew that it had to be replaced. And of course, with the big reveal, as you just seen, Doomsday. So obviously the crowd went nuts. The Dr. Doom clones, the legions
of Doom,
were all up on the stage.
Because they're Doombots. Well, at least they should be, because this is not Victor Von Doom.
This is what we need to discuss.
Yes.
Obviously, when the crowd parted, they said there's only one actor that can carry this role at this point in time.
Our
dude rips it off, takes off the mask, does the pose from the very first Iron Man, and it is our friend, Robert Downey Jr.
Friend of the channel.
He is a friend of the channel.
Robbie.
So now, I don't even want to know what they're paying that guy, because they must have just knocked on the door and said, what do you want? What do you want?
I don't want to know, because it's just going to make me upset.
My first question is you, because you know more of this comic lore, and I just said this before we started, but I wanted to hold off, is he going to be Tony Stark?
No.
Or will he be called Victor Von Doom?
No, neither. He is Tony Stark. So this is a Tony Stark variant. I can't remember from which universe he's from. I want to say 853 or something like that. and I only know this because of a TikTok I watched before.
Okay.
But he is a Tony Stark that fell by the wayside. I don't know if he's part of Latveria, because that's the thing. I don't even know if we're going to see Latveria. That's where Victor Von Doom is from. Supernaturalist. But again, Victor Von Doom in the comics, he thinks he's doing the right thing. He is a villain, but again, he's not like just like I'm gonna like I've got my own sovereign nation. Like no, Latveria is a country. That's part of it. And he's just I want to do what I can to protect Latveria #1.
Well, it's funny that you say that what he thinks he's doing is right.
Because guess who else did that?
Well, Tony Stark.
Thanos.
No. I was thinking Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. When he comes on stage, his first thing when he takes out the mask is new mask,
same task.
New mask, same task. Right? Now, Tony Stark in all the films, the one thing he always wanted to do was put a suit of armor around the world. So he thought he was going to be doing right by that. So do we presume that this Victor Von Doom, Tony Stark, whoever name he's going by, is going to be trying to put in a Doom Legion around the world?
Not necessarily. I think it's going to got something to do with more with the armor, because he's big with his armor too. Not Iron Man armor, but his own. Now again, this variant of whatever, because this is what we're dealing with the multiverse.
Right. Well, this is a con. Tell me a con of this. Like, obviously, it's one thing to go, Robert Downey Jr.
The multiverse is where it gets confusing because there's so many. I mean, even watching what was going on in our newest movie that just came out this past week, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Which we won't touch on too.
No, but we know that there's variants. Now, does we know where that's just another timeline, or is it? We don't know where it's going to end up.
And I think the unknown is going to play a big part into this, but similar to Deadpool and Wolverine, and we won't go too far down the rabbit hole, one of the biggest questions coming out of that when they first announced
where's it going to go?
Well, where's it going to go, but how are they going to handle what in this case was Logan's death, right? No one wanted Logan to be touched, so that was off the record. No, but that was off the record. So now Tony Stark, as we know from Endgame, is dead. How can they tastefully bring him back without shitting on fandom?
And this is why there's one of my theories that's coming through that's really going to mess with it, because we know in some way, shape, or form that there are people that are still in the MCU who valued what Tony brought to what he sacrificed. We know that there are several, well, at least, I mean, if Thor's still in it, if Chris Hemsworth's still around, like, he considered one of the Avengers to be his brother. But my thing is, because it's my boy.
Yeah, I know where you're going with
Spider-Man.
Yep.
Was a huge proponent in the last 3 movies. Well, I guess No Way Home was a different way, but in terms of Far From Home, he in the Avengers game, he very much looked up to Tony, not as a father figure, but as someone who was somewhat a mentor.
Yeah. So, what do you propose is going to happen if and when Tom Holland's Spider-Man that we know from the Avengers universe comes face to face with Tony Stark as Doctor Doom?
This is the thing, because this is many parts, many strings are going to come into this, and I really hope
like a Madam Web.
Shut up. So, still haven't watched that. It's on Netflix. I gotta watch it. I gotta live tweet.
We got to. I know.
So, I think it's going to shatter him in some way if he's going to show up in Doomsday. If Spider-Man's going to be part of it, because we're still waiting to see what's going to happen with Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
But Secret Wars is another part of where
complex.
It's an important part for Spider-Man.
And why is that, Peter?
So, I'm going to get into that because I'm hoping that the first time that Spider-Man meets Robert Von Downey Doom.
Robert Downey Jr.
Man, is in Secret Wars. And I hope that he gets the absolute piss kicked out of him.
Who does? Who? Robert Downey Jr. or Tom Holland?
Tom Holland.
Oh, okay.
Because he's going to get his suit ripped.
And need it to...
He needs to get fixed because in Secret Wars it doesn't take place on Earth or wherever. It takes place on battle worlds. And Spider-Man...
Which I think we had discussed before in one of our theories off probably came.
Yeah, it was
will it be the void? Could all this be taking place in that void where
thing.
Damage to surrounding area doesn't matter, so to speak?
Cassandra Nova, all that stuff. Anyways, so Spider-Man gets his suit ripped. He needs to fix it. Doesn't have a seamstress. Goes to a certain specific room in Battle Worlds and goes, "Oh wait, this looks like it could fix my suit." And he gets a little black ball. which is the symbiote. Now, we know that right now, Venom: The Last Dance is coming out in
November, I think.
Insert date
November,
here.
I think.
It's November or October, one of them. We know that Tom Hardy's Venom it does not exist within the timeline or the verse or whatever it was, 616 of Tom Holland.
Right.
He did for a hot minute, but when
left
he
a little
got
piece behind.
sucked back in, he got a piece left behind, which we see
in the trailer.
Get in the trailer of Save the Last Dance or whatever the hell it is, or friggin' Just Dance 2024. I don't know what the hell it's called.
Well, it's... There's a piece.
So is that gonna go?
You think that? Okay, so are you saying that you think that little piece might be the Secret War piece?
Yeah,
theoretically.
That doesn't have anything to do with what was announced.
Well, that's okay.
But that's my theory.
We're just gone down the mad rabbit hole of what's to come.
But the other part that's not related to this theory is it's going to be interesting to see how they do Doom. Because Doom in the 616 universe is very magic based. He's still technological, but the powers that he's got is wild. In one of the comics, which would be a cool way to introduce it if there's a variant of Thanos, he turns into dust. Thanos comes down and he's like, "What are you at, my son? We're going to do this, my son. You get better gotta have this rock, cause and then that was terrible. I'm so sorry. I can watch the survivor count just go tick 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 tick.
No,
but then he just punches Thanos in the chest and holds us in the next panel. It's just the spine and the head.
Oh, so it's like a Mortal Kombat fatality.
Kind of, but that was when Doom was a god in one of the.
I'm going to rewind a little bit.
Okay.
Back to Robert Downey Jr. becoming Doom and how we feel about it. One of the things I took away from San Diego Comic-Con is why now? Why announce who Doom was when you could clearly keep it a secret? It's a mask, you know what I mean? Full armor. You could kind of hide who that is for a while.
I don't know.
But then I realized, if Dr. Doom is going to be the next Thanos, you have to build up your villain. Therefore,
showing up in other movies.
Well, he has to. Does he not? Like, at this point, does Robert Downey Jr. not have to show up and establish, is he Tony Stark, is he Victor Von Doom, whatever? But guess what starts filming tomorrow as of this filming? Fantastic Four. So,
which they've already got test footage for because they also showed stuff at the San Diego Comic-Con.
So there's no way, because I feel Robert Downey Jr. now has no choice but to be in that movie in some capacity. Whether he's a friendly, he's a foe, he's in the end credit scene, we don't know.
It's got to be an end credit scene because we're looking at Galactus to be the
But there's no way that he's going to be on set at this movie and someone not raise an eyebrow.
But see,
I think they had to show their cards.
They can keep stuff secret because, as we know from Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not even going to say this person's name.
Right.
But we know that the last trailer, before it came out, they showed a particular person. And the reason that they had to show that person was because that person, if they didn't announce who they were, they wanted to be at the premiere.
Right.
And if they didn't announce it, then this person would have, because it would have been a spoiler.
And this is similar to, again, what I just said, but there's a reason behind it.
Having this big thing and Robert Downey Jr. not be at the...
You don't just go to San Diego Comic-Con and reveal Robert Downey Jr. as Doom.
Why do you keep saying San Diego? Just say Comic-Con.
Well, whatever. You don't just go there and reveal Robert Downey Jr. as Doom for the shock factor, I feel, at this point in time. Avengers is like 2 years away. Why not wait till next year's or whatever? Because he is going to be in multiple films, just like they were doing with Kang. I mean, Kang was in 4 films now before they nixed him. But Loki and stuff as well. Loki season 1, Loki season 2. Then you had Quantumania, and there was one more that I'm definitely forgetting. I think he was maybe in the end credit scene or something. Where was the Kang? Kang. That was Court of Kangs.
That was Quantumania because they were like, "Oh, another one has spawned."
So either way, he was building up. So now I just feel Robert Downey Jr. is going to segue in there, but you can't do that without building up the Tony Stark or the Victor Von Doom first. Why is he bad? They cannot just go into this movie, this Avengers Doomsday, and just be like, "Here's Dr. Doom. You're supposed to know who he is."
I hope that they utilize this MacGuffin, this red herring. Well, I hope that this isn't like we are capitalizing on what Robert Downey Jr. I know it's the Russos. I know that Feige has said that we're going for quality as opposed to quantity now. I know they're really going to try and I don't think those are the dates. I think they're going to get pushed ahead again because it's just, my God, they'd have to start filming like friggin' tomorrow.
Well, I actually seen a release date montage, we'll call it, of all the Marvel projects that are coming up. We got 3 Marvel movies next year if they stay on time.
There's supposed to be 3 projects a year.
Captain America, Brave New World comes out in February. You got the Thunderbolts, which I think comes out in July.
And then you got Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four, which I think comes out later in the year. So, and then right after that is the Avengers Doomsday. So, either, like you said, they're going to get pushed, or they're going to assume that with the star power of Robert Downey Jr., the Victor Von Doom and Dr. Doom knowledge beforehand for movie fans and comic fans like us, that they're going to shoehorn them in there, and I mean that in a nice way, with the precursor that we know how big of a threat this guy is.
I don't know. There's so many things that are coming out too, because there's other parts that are moving too, which we know from other movies. And so what I've heard too, now this is not related to exactly what we're talking about here, but I got to talk about it.
That's okay. This is forum discussion.
So in the Brave New World trailer, we see the Celestial with their hand coming up out of the ocean. That is apparently made of adamantium.
That's the theory or prediction or leak? Spoiler?
Take it how you will.
Okay.
It's all 3.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's a leak. I don't know.
Right.
This is what I've heard.
Chatter. Internet chatter.
So,
if they mine that, let's say the government's mining it.
Where do you think it's gonna go?
Wolverine?
Yes.
Like a new one?
Yes.
Okay. What about Cap Shield and all that jazz? The wings of Captain America.
This is the thing, because now adamantium is going to become a thing. Because
I feel like with the trailer that we have seen, the president is very forthcoming, trying to get Anthony Mackie's character to come back to basically Captain America. I'm wondering if he's going to entice him by saying, listen, I can give you some upgrades to your shield, to your suit, make you more powerful than Steve Rogers ever was by giving you these little adamantium tools. You never know. Again, this is all theories.
But how that's going to go into, because we've got to figure out, because these people have to stay alive. Okay, we can't have people, because we got to have them be ready for Robert Downey, because they've got to lose their mind.
So we have Robert Downey Jr. coming in as Dr. Doom. Another question I have for you, because it's something I'm not familiar with, and if someone in the comments wants to join in and add to this, how big of threat is Dr. Doom exactly?
He's vicious threat. Like he takes no prisoners. Like he's just someone that like, I want that, and he gets it, and he just does that stuff. Again, he's got the power to just like atomize stuff. Like from the comics, he's just vicious. Is he mega level threat? He's not a mutant, but it's.
I'm just thinking, compared to Thanos, obviously there's going to be a lot of comparison going down with that.
He doesn't have a lot of remorse because he does everything for Latveria. Now, again, that's Victor Von Doom, not Tony Von
Fair.
Downey.
Yeah. Fair. I don't know. I just feel like there's so many unknown things with this, and it was so cool to see the reveal. I wished we were at Comic-Con when it all went down, but maybe next year. But it's just going to be cool. On one hand, it's going to be great to see Robert Downey Jr. return as a titular character playing the baddie. But on the other hand do they risk tainting what was so tastefully created?
And that's what's got me worried. Because, and I say the same thing with Deadpool, because I was like, first movie was pretty good. We're going to do a second one. Oh, you've got more money now. How are we going to do this? Yeah. It was good. Okay. We're going to do a third one now. We're going to bring Wolverine into it. Oh, you're Marvel Jesus. How are you going to do this? And straight fire.
So we can only, at this point in time, we can only give Marvel the benefit of the doubt.
I always do, because it's always a turning point.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for our little chit-chat, little distorted theories, little discussion about Robert Downey Jr. coming in as Dr. Doom and where the future, I guess, of the MCU is going to take us. As always, if you want to support the channel and more discussions like this, if you don't mind, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we will want to comment down below on anything we just discussed. Let us know if you think we're going to hit the nail on the head, or are we way off base. And with that, I am the real Jussy.
I'm Peter Parkour, and like we always say around here, keep it real.